Hello and welcome back to Business Law News. It is April 13, 1951 and we are here outside the Court of Appeal to witness the rehearing of the landmark case between the Pharmaceutical Society of Great Britain and Boots Cash Chemists, a case that could change the way we shop forever. The Pharmaceutical Society had lost earlier in the trial court, so today they are back to challenge the verdict. Now, the big question is, if a pharmacy places medical product on open shelf for customer to grab before seeing a pharmacist, does that count as selling? Let's find out.
To end, after reviewing the arguments, this court finds in favor of the defendants, Boots Cash Chemists. The display of goods on shelves constitutes an invitation to treat and not an offer. Case dismissed.
You're probably wondering how I got here.
I think this is what the doctor told me to get.
Oh, okay, let's go and then pay the cashier.
Alright. Let me check this real quick. Okay, that's fine. You're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sold drugs without supervision.
Hello, this is the Pharmaceutical Society. I'd like to report Boots Cash Chemists violating the Pharmacy and Poisons Act 1933. Okay, thank you.
Now, what may seem like a simple shopping trip actually carries serious legal weight. Here, the plaintiff claimed that once the customer picked up the medicine, the sale was done and that it happened before a pharmacist got involved, which would have been illegal under the 1933 Pharmacy and Poisons Act. But legally speaking, grabbing something off a shelf isn't a sale, rather it's called an invitation to treat. So when Boots placed the drugs on the shelf, they weren't making an offer, they were simply inviting the customer to make one. This makes sure that contracts are only formed at the cashier, which protects everyone, customers and businesses. This isn't the first time this case has been heard. The Pharmaceutical Society actually lost in the trial court. Now, they're appealing, hoping that the higher court will reverse the decision.
Your Honour, Boots made an offer when they placed those drugs on the shelf. And the second a customer picks up a drug on the shelf, that's an acceptance. No pharmacist was present during that moment, which violates the law under the Section 18, Subsection 1 of the Pharmacy and Poisons Act 1933.
Your Honour, we were literally just shopping, like anyone would. We did not agree to anything yet. Just because something is on our shelf, that doesn't mean we bought it. If that is how it works, then every supermarket would be breaking the law. It doesn't make any sense.
Your Honour, that's not possible. I was there, I checked everything, and nothing could go through unless I approve it.
Your Honour, according to the legal concept of the invitation to treat, items placed on the shelf are an offer, but they're just there for browsing. The offer happened at the counter, while the acceptance happened when the pharmacy approved at the cashier.
This court declares that the display of goods in a self-service store is not an offer, but an invitation to treat. The offer occurs when the customer presents the item to the cashier, and acceptance is made when the pharmacist approves the sale. This is in line with established contract law principles, which matches what we saw in Fisher v. Bell, where the display of goods in a shop window was also deemed an invitation to treat. Therefore, no breach of the Pharmacy and Poisons Act occurred. To end, after reviewing the arguments, this court finds in favor of the defendants, Boots Cash Chemists. The display of goods on shelves constitutes an invitation to treat and not an offer. Case dismissed. Now you may have heard of Partridge versus Crittenden, where someone advertised wild birds for sale. In that case, an advertisement to sell birds was ruled as an invitation to treat and not an offer, but the stakes were different. Partridge was about wildlife preservation, whereas Boots was about public health and safe drug distribution. Therefore, the law had to make sure that licensed pharmacists were there to supervise every sale.
Great news! The court ruled in favor of Boots Cash Chemists. This decision has clarified contract law for all of us, where a contract is only formed with mutual agreement at the point of sale. We can also see that this decision fits from an Islamic perspective, as there is offer and acceptance. This happens at the counter, where the pharmacist acts as the one who accepts the offer at the cashier, making the transaction valid and free from uncertainty, and supports the well-being of society by protecting health and making sure that all medications are sold responsibly. So remember, just because it's on shelf does not mean it's sold. That's all for me today. Thank you for watching. Till next time, goodbye.